Welcome to Russell Swinson Park for today's matchup between the Wasatch Wasps and the Dons of Spanish Fork High School. Alongside Mitchell Marshall, I am Brandon Crow. Thank you for joining us here on SFCN and your coverage of high school sports. We want to thank our sponsors, MVP Sports and the Car Guys, for making this broadcast possible today. Mitch, we should have a great matchup between the Wasps and the Dons. Wasatch comes into this game 5-6 overall record with an 0-2 record in region. And we're going to have a quick pause for the national anthem, and we will return with those lineups momentarily.
Thank you.
Play ball, as they used to say back where I'm from.
Back where I'm from.
Again, Brandon Crow alongside Mitchell Marshall with you here on SFCN for today's Region 8 matchup between the Wasatch Wasps and the Spanish Fork Dons. Mitch, give us a quick breakdown of Spanish Fork coming into this ball game.
Spanish Fork is coming to the season with high hopes. They got a lot of upperclassmen playing. The guy on the bump today is Tanner Nielsen. I had the pleasure of seeing his first start, which was against Timpview, the opening game. And Spanish Fork took that one pretty easily. But he's got a lot of movement on his curveball. He's got some movement on a very quick slider. And they're coming in here 2-1. They swept Timpview in the opening of region play. They did lose their last game, which was out of region, to Cottonwood Canyon, which is a 5A school, one of the top 3 5A schools. And they played pretty well against them. So bright things to look forward to for Spanish Fork.
Coach Scholl of Wasatch deems Spanish Fork very highly in his eyes, and he respects them very much. And he says, coming into this game, we expect nothing less than sharp defense and heat coming from the mound along with hot bats. Whenever you think of baseball, especially in Utah, and specifically here in Utah County, Spanish Fork, well, in the Utah County area, down here in southern Spanish Fork and Mapleton, this is huge baseball tradition in this area. And people love to play baseball down here, and they play it well. So expect nothing but good things from today's matchup between both squads. So on the bump today for Wasatch is McCord Larson. So McCord Larson, he pitched a 2-hitter against Mountain View, but lost. And so Mountain View needs to Mountain View ended up defeating the Wasps.
Leading off for Wasatch in the top of the first inning, second baseman.
But leading off today for the Wasps is Carson Law, and as many of you might know, that last name is very familiar around these parts, and he is indeed related to Vance Law. He is Vance Law's nephew, and so he is one of the 4 captains that Coach Scholl has marked for this squad. And he takes a good hack at that ball, and so we have 1 ball and 1 strike the count as we see Nielsen trying to get ahead early by using anything that he can get. And like you said, we'll look for the slider. A looping breaking ball on the outside part of the plate misses.
Didn't dive quite as much as he wanted to.
So 2 balls and 1 strike to Law. And Law promptly fouls that one back and out of play. Spanish Fork, the Dons representing their school colors with the red tops and the white bottoms with the old school stirrups. I'm a personal fan of those. And the Wasps with the gray pants and the camouflage uniforms. And Law goes down swinging to start off the game. Not a bad start for Nielsen.
Law was just a little bit off on the fastballs. He was seeing and fouled him back, but the movement came on the second off-speed pitch from Tanner Nielsen, and he's able to get the K. He had 6 strikeouts in his first game against Timpview, and 3 of those were looking, so he's definitely got some movement, and he sets it right in the strike zone.
Second batter now is Zach Holmes, the center fielder. Zach Holmes a little bit smaller in the strike zone, which Coach Scholl likes to have a different variety of. And he takes the second consecutive ball. Pitch counts might not be a factor today for Nielsen, as well as McCord Larson. Both coaches want to see what they can get out of their aces. So 3 balls and no strikes.
Not something I think Nielsen's had to see maybe this entire year.
As Holmes takes that pitch on the outside part of the plate for the first strike.
Hitters count here. I expect to see a break on this ball from Nielsen.
And it did break over the plate, and Holmes is ready. Foul that went right back to the backstop. Usually they say when the ball goes straight back, you just missed it.
That was on the outside part of the plate, too. Good swing.
Payoff pitch for Nielsen. Swung on and missed, and back-to-back strikeouts for the Dons.
Tanner Nielsen really is an ace, so they need to continue seeing this from him because Coach said he feels good about his team, but he doesn't even have a clear number 2.
Nielsen misses low and away. Larson steps into the dish. McCord Larson, so pitcher-pitcher matchup now you see. And McCord Larson puts the bat on the ball, drills this one in the outfield, and that will not be tracked down. Nick Robertson gets it at the base of the fence, outruns Jason Money, and Larson with the 2-out double keeps the Wasps' hopes alive here in the top of the first.
Sometimes you got to do it from both sides of the ball. And that one, a lot of space in this outfield, hit it in the perfect gap area.
Take a look at the replay brought to you by the Car Guys. Money and Roberts tracked it down at the base of the fence. They made a decent effort to get the ball in to keep Larson at second. Your batter now is Chase Adams, the designated hitter. Chase is one of the 3 hottest bats in the lineup, according to Coach Scholl. And looks like McKinnon Jarvis is going to take a quick timeout to go talk to his pitcher, try to calm him down a little bit. I don't think so far this season they've had many of those meetings.
No, and I think part of it is that Nielsen works fast, and that was a strike, but I think he's not seeing the same thing that he's calling.
Breaking ball misses on the outside part of the plate. So after a 2-out double by Larson, 1-1 count with a runner at second base in scoring position. This is a big outfield here at Russell Swenson Park. 403 to dead center, 347 down the lines.
I wonder if that meeting at the mound was actually about the runner and him having the idea that he may be able to pitch out. Maybe he likes to take big leads. They're definitely holding him, second baseman, keeping a good eye on him. A couple pitches have not quite been on.
3 straight balls. So within the 4 batters we've seen so far in this half inning, Mitch, we've seen Nielsen
dominate a couple,
but repeatedly get 3-ball counts on each one of them almost. 3-1 pitch from Nielsen. Swung on and missed. Pulled the string on that off-speed pitch.
It's too tempting when it's 3-1, but he hasn't been hitting the zone, so that might be an opportunity to look to get on base.
Here's the payoff pitch from Nielsen. And he misses on the outside part of the plate, so 2 strikeouts, a double, and a walk. And that'll bring up left fielder Colton Wynn.
I think Chase Adams was anxious there when he saw 2 strikes. He knew it was time to choke up and see if he could get his boy home, and he was able to see that breaking ball is not broken, and we've seen that come on the outside many times for Nielsen.
Ooh, you saw the movement on that pitch. Missed just inside. That looked pretty decent to me.
That's something he might want to see, though. See if he can get it moving on all these right-handed hitters.
The 1-0 pitch. Oh, pulled the string on that outside changeup. Well, so far we've seen, three real dominant pitches. He's got his changeup working. We just saw a slider, and we know he's got his fastball.
I don't think he loves his fastball. I think he wants those other pitches with more movement to work.
Foul back and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
His curve is the one that hasn't quite been looping in yet. But I think if you're putting fastballs in the strike zone, you're going to get some outs. You're going to get it in play and trust your defense behind you.
1-2 pitch. Again, tried to go away with the off speed with the breaking ball. He's having trouble on that outside part of the plate with these right-handed batters, making that thing break over the corner for a strike. See if he adjusts here. 2-2. Comes a little more over the plate. And Wynn just barely misses our production vehicle, which is a good thing. Last game, I called the Maple Mountain softball game. One of our producers, Andy Gesselson, had the door wide open. The ball bounced right in at him. The 2-2 pitch from Nielsen. And that should be an infield fly, but that retires the Wasps. Tanner Argyle catches that one. So a couple runners left on base and a hit. 2 strikeouts and a walk for Nielsen and company, and they grab their bats. And when we come back here on SFCN, Channel 17's coverage of high school baseball continues. Don't go away. Bottom of the first inning here at Russell Swenson Park. Wasatch had a double, a 2-out double. Got struck out twice and left 2 on. But Tanner Nielsen and company were able to shut it down without letting up any runs. Who does Spanish Fork have coming up in this lineup that could be potentially dangerous for McCord Nielsen? And McCord Larson, excuse me.
The top of the Spanish Fork lineup is all dangerous, and they've all been hitting very well. Last game, they faced maybe the best pitcher in 5A, who had given up 1 hit in 10 innings, and they got 10 hits on him. They came up a little short in that game, but they're firing on cylinders, including Nick Roberts.
And McCord Larson misses with his first pitch of the ball game.
With some speed on it, though.
Definitely with some speed. Nice hack at that inside. Looks like an off-speed pitch there.
After Roberts, you have Argyle, Golish, and then Creer, and all 3 of those guys hitting the ball hard. Golish and Creer had home runs in the first region game against Timpview.
Low and in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Coach Schul says that McCord Larson plans to go on an LDS mission after he graduates as a senior, and then plans to play baseball at UVU. And that had some nice movement on that pitch. Started out like it was gonna maybe even hit the batter, and then broke right on that inside black. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Roberts. Oh my goodness, that was filthy.
He's throwing hard. And that was pretty. I think by reputation, Spanish Fork is a challenge, and he's going to come out and put his best balls over the plate.
So far,
Now batting for the Dons, the designated hitter number
6
15,
batters
Kevin Argyle.
in the ball game between both squads respectively, and we've got 3 strikeouts, so 50%. Look for some dominant pitching in this ball game today, as McCord Larson gets that curveball over for a strike to Argyle, the shortstop. Tanner making the last out of the top of the first. No balls, 2 strikes to Argyle. Argyle with the defensive swing. Stays alive by fouling that one back out of play.
You talked about Wasatch's uniforms. They're a little bit that camo, but, man, it's a cool gray camo right there.
Yeah,
and then just the yellow highlights, just highlighting Wasatch. Excellent uniform choice.
Misses high with that breaking ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good no swing from Devin Argyle. High heat that was my poison. Always wanted to hit it.
Mine was the high and outside. The 1-2 pitch. Popped in play. Shallow right field. Should be playable. Coming in hard and making the catch is Garrett Davis in the outfield, making that look easy. Again, we talked about how big this outfield is. That was a lot of room to come and cover.
It wasn't. He was already playing a little bit shallow, but he made a great move to get a little bit closer to the foul line.
So 2 away here in the bottom of the first, and that brings up Ryan Golish, the third baseman. Golish been swinging the bat hot as of late. And right on cue, right up the middle for the first base hit of the ball game for the Dons.
He saw that one come in. I don't think that was a mistake. I think it was a good pounding of the strike zone by McCord Larson, but he stayed on it and drove it, waited just amount of time, and put it right between the 2 center infielders.
That brings up first baseman Matt Creer, which is very confusing for any Spanish speaker because you look at that and you want to say creer, which means to think. And Matt promptly dribbles that one foul out of play. So forgive me ahead in advance if I slip into some Espanol.
That won't happen to me. Don't worry about it.
Throw back to first to keep Golish in check. So both squads had 2 outs and had base hits. It's a nice curveball from Larson. No balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball to short, and it gets by Josh Darrow.
He overran it just a little bit, tried to reach back for it, seemed to jump right off of his cleat. Now you got 2 on and 2 out with big McKenna Jarvis coming up.
Take a look at that outside pitch rolled over. And Darrow, instead of shuffling his feet to get in front of that ball, he tried to backhand. It took a funny hop and rolled right up his arm. Nothing much you can do there. And that brings up the catcher, McKenna Jarvis.
Jarvis, a senior, decides to take that one, see what that ball looks like coming out of the hand of Larson. See if he can take advantage of getting a man in scoring position with 2 outs.
Oh, 1 pitch to Jarvis. Low and inside pitch, and Jarvis fouls that off of the light pole. If I gave him 10, 15 bucks and 10 more pitches, I don't think he could probably do that again.
That's a pretty low offer for some. That'd be a lot of skill. Start him at 50.
Okay.
I think 10, 15 is more of his allowance. He's like, I'll wait till next week. I'll do my chores.
Obviously, Mitch is the one with the most money between the 2 of us.
Yeah. Most is a relative term between the 2 of us anyway.
Larson's 0-2 pitch misses outside. Looks like he came back with the fastball.
And just didn't have it there. I think he wanted the chase, but it went pretty far and outside. And right now, if you're Jarvis, you got to think runners are moving on contact with 2 outs, so they're going to get a good head start. Easy run if he can get the ball in the outfield.
Got to swing at anything close. Jarvis calls time. Settles in there. The low stance. Wiggles his bat. And there's a ball to Darrow, and he can make up for the last ground ball is hit to him, and he retires.
It's that easy force.
The Dons, and the Dons come away scoreless, leaving 2 runners on as well. So we go into the top of the 2nd inning here on SFCN Channel 17. Still 0-0 score between the Wasps and the Dons. 2nd inning action when we return.
Welcome back to the SFCN Channel 17 coverage of the Spanish Fork Dons and the Wasatch Wasps.
Tanner Nilsson continues to get ahead of the count with that breaking ball, getting Clower to chase.
I don't know if he meant it to be a sinker, but that looked 12-6 pretty.
Comes right back at him after coming inside with the off speed. He goes outside. Doesn't bite. 1-1 count. Again, this time he connects on the outside part of the plate.
He's been pounding that outside part of the plate, but can't quite paint that side, and I think that's what it'll look to do. So see if Wasatch can adjust and start to take some of those to the opposite field.
Nice comebacker. Easy PFP pitcher's fielding practice. And Nielsen does it himself, and Cloward is retired. And that brings up the 3rd baseman, Caden Ledger. And a ground ball to Argyle. And Argyle retires Ledger very quickly. So 2 up, 2 down. And that brings up
Now batting the right fielder, number 7,
Garrett Davis, the right fielder, who's seen some action as he looks like he ran about a half a mile to catch a foul ball. And he puts the bat on the ball into shallow center field, but Nick Roberts comes up and makes the catch. And 3 up, 3 down. That was one of the quickest half innings I've seen in a long time.
That was quick. What, 6 pitches maybe?
6 pitches. That's all Tanner Larson needs to get the job done. And again, he escapes another inning scoreless. 0-0 score heading into the bottom of the second here on SFCN Channel 17.
Welcome back to the SFCN Channel 17 coverage of the Spanish Fork Dons and the Wasatch Wasps. We are scoreless as we head into the bottom of the second.
Spanish Fork left fielder Jason Money is at the dish to lead things off in the bottom of the second inning. And he takes McCord Larson's first pitch for a ball. And McCord Larson misses somehow with that pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0, a good hitter's count. And he takes a good hack at that, but fouls it. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Call him J Money. Pretty cool nickname. Nothing available like that to me. So see if he can be money for his team and get on base with no outs, something that we haven't seen from either team yet.
2 balls and 2 strikes as Larson's curveball comes across the plate for a strike, according to our behind-the-dish umpire, Sterling Nielsen. Oof. And for the 3rd strikeout of the ball game, Money goes down.
Chasing it outside.
Excuse me, that was Larson's 2nd strikeout.
Now batting for the Dons,
Nielsen
right
has
fielder,
2.
number 6, Taylor
Larson
Harrison.
has 2. Taylor Harrison now at the dish for the Dons. And he takes the inside fastball for a strike. Swung on and fouled. Out of play for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Harrison.
McCord Larson getting ahead in these counts, wanting to replicate what he saw last inning.
And he misses low and in the dirt. Good eye from Harrison to stay off of that. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anytime a pitcher can get ahead of the count, they can do almost anything to a hitter's mind if they're not disciplined. 1-2 pitch. Rolled over, fouled, still stays alive. Continues to be a 1-2 count. Here's the offering from Larson. Swung on and fouled, out of play over our heads.
Way back. He's got a beat on it, but with 2 strikes, every swing is protective. It's a miss, so even though he may be seeing these pitches a little better, got to be careful about what he swings at.
Here's the 1-2. Ahead of it and fouled is playable. Will the play be made is the question. Very close. Play over to the fence, but Larson cannot come up with it.
Fence caught up to him right at the last minute there.
Yeah, Ledger, Larson, and Cloward all gathering towards the same spot by the fence. And not only is it a big field in the outfield, but that's quite a bit of a distance between the dugout and the line.
Absolutely. Back to the backstop, there's some cement, so you can see the ball bouncing there. But if it goes anywhere between there and those dugouts, lots of space. And that ball didn't hang quite as long as you might think.
Again, the 1-2 swung on and missed. And that is Larson's 3rd strikeout of the ball game. And that brings up shortstop Tanner Argyle.
Now batting for the Dons, the shortstop, number 23, Tanner Argyle.
And Larson misses with that first pitch. Larson trying to get these Dons to bite on these first pitches if they're close, but Don's very disciplined so far. They're taking until they get a strike, as we saw with that off speed on the outside part of the plate. So the 1-1 from Larson. And that misses low and in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike for Argyle. And Larson paints it black on the outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. 0-0 ball game between the Wasps and the Dons. Sterling Nielsen waves his hands in the air, signaling a timeout is called, most likely by Argyle at the plate. Here's the 2-2. Misses high and away. Argyle works the count to 3-2. The more pitches that you can make a pitcher throw to you, the more different types of pitches you can see, and not only show yourself, but show the rest of your teammates. Full count. Here's the payoff pitch. Dribble down to third. And Ryan Golish tries to come up with the play, but cannot. Excuse me, that was Ledger.
Yeah, Ledger got to it. Pretty good manner. He looked like he went down with it just a little bit, as you can see here on the replay, and it bounces up. Good dig by the first baseman, sees that come up, but Argyle just able to beat it out.
Go down as an infield single in the books. So again, with 2 outs, a runner gets aboard for the Dons. And that brings up second baseman Walker Jones.
This might be a game where you win 1 run at a time. See if Walker Jones can get Argyle.
Throw back to first. Keep Argyle honest. But I don't think with 2 outs that they'd risk having Argyle run.
Not running, but he's ready. He's got a nice lead.
And what do I know?
Wow.
There he goes, takes off, and probably steals second base.
Aggressive move, but sometimes when there's 2 outs, Walker Jones can come up to start your next inning. You see, hey, let's see if we can get him in scoring position, and that gives us a chance to get him home with just 1 knock.
All it takes is 1 base hit to get the Dons on the board. McCord Larson trying to shut the door. And he misses with that outside fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jones.
Interesting for the Dons, their head coach not able to stay through the game today, not Nelson, so some of the calls might be different. Might see him take some different risks.
As Jones looks at that second strike come across the plate. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second in the bottom of the second. Deuces, you could say, are wild. Here's the 2-2 from Larson. Low and in the dirt. Good eye again from Jones. Works Larson to a full count.
Larson's seen quite a few full counts in this game, but it's all about confidence, and he comes to this pitch thinking its pressure's on the batter.
Here's the full count pitch, swung on, fouled out of play. Jones continues to battle.
Jones can be confident as well. He can put the pressure on the pitcher and say, hey, you got to throw me a strike, but it's a battle.
3-2 pitch. Grounder to Ledger. Ledger to Kelly. We chalked that up as a 5-3 in the book. And again, still, runners on base. Nobody can cash them in. Wasps, 0. Dons, 0. And we head to the top of the third, 0-0 ball game. right here on SFCN 17. Don't go away. Welcome back to Russell Swinson Park, home of today's Region 8 matchup between the Wasps of Wasatch and the Dons of Spanish Fork. And Darrow gets the top of the third inning started off, getting hit by Tanner Nielsen's pitch.
That's pretty different from everything we've seen Nielsen throw so far. Might have just lost it.
Josh Darrow saw the ball coming towards him and figured, hey, if I'm going to get hit, might as well be by an off-speed pitch. I'll turn into this one.
Hey, if that's what it takes, it's just a second base runner of the day for the Wasps.
Carson Law showing bunt, lays one down, foul. McKinnon Jarvis all over that bunt, ready for it.
It was a good pitch to bunt. He just wished he could have gotten on top of it a little bit. I think he got excited when it came to that spot inside where he liked to see it, so you can put it right down the third base line. But small ball works. Whatever you got to do, get that guy in scoring position.
Loss struck out to lead the game. He takes high and outside for a ball. I'm sure he wants a little redemption, especially after he has his leadoff man get aboard. Josh Darrow gets hit. Here's the 1-1 and a throw back to first.
Tanner Nielsen hesitated a little bit there, decided to toss it over anyway, keeping him honest.
With a move like that, I don't think Law's gonna go anywhere.
Turn your mic up a little bit. Just your mic.
1-1 pitch, and Law lays the bunt down. Jarvis makes the play and fires the first for the out. Sacrifice in the books.
Excellent play by Jarvis, getting out from behind the plate, making a good throw on the inside. Good communication also by first baseman Matt Creer. But after 2 failed attempts, sometimes you give up on that bunt. And credit for Law to continue to do that and put it down in a good spot. Now they got a man in scoring position. See if they can take advantage.
Holmes swings and misses at that first pitch. Holmes struck out his first time up as well. So with 1 out and a runner in scoring position, Holmes looks to cash him in and get the first run across the board in his favor. And bangs this one up the center. Here comes the throw home. It is in time. Is it in time enough? Safe is the call. A bang play at home, and the Wasps get an early sting against the Dons.
Fantastic throw from center field.
Let's take a look at that replay brought to you by our friends, the Car Guys. Nielsen almost tried to barehand that one.
He thought about it.
Nick Roberts comes out firing, and the tag was just missed by McKinnon Jarvis. Great piece of heads-up running by Josh Darrow.
Outside on the first pitch back from Nielsen, who's going to want to pull things down after giving up a run. But what a throw, and good move by Jarvis to try and get that tag, but good slide. And I think the ump saw that and called it right.
McCord Larson, the pitcher, now steps up to the plate. And McCord, in the top of the first inning, had a 2-out double to left center. And we're seeing Tanner Nielsen struggling just a little bit here in the top half of the third.
You know, it is him struggling. Sometimes you see a team figure a pitcher out, but I don't think they're seeing him any better. I think he's losing a little bit of control. Oh.
Just barely missed was Tanner Argyle on that diving attempt to catch that ball. And 2 for 2 is Larson now.
Now you got 2 on with 1 out for Wasatch. See if they can build a lead against a very good hitting Dons team who has not been able to get on the board yet.
Chase Adams is your batter. And Chase swings at that first pitch he sees. Swung on and out of play. So 2 on, 1 out. Top of the third, 1-0 Wasatch. Wasps looking to add. Tanner Nielsen. A slider finds the inside part of the plate for a strike. 0-2 pitch. And this one goes off of the foot of Nielsen. And that will be ruled another single. As Nielsen and his team come out to take a look at that right foot of his. Looks like the instep or the insole of his foot. Line drive right off of it. And he looks to shake it off as we take a replay here. Mitch, what do you see?
Just comes off, and he was late on it. He really didn't see that it was coming that close to his foot. Tried to pull it the last second. I think that's when he'll be able to walk off, and now you can see him trotting around the mound a little bit. Gives his coach a second to talk to him after loading the bases and having a little bit of a rough ending after a lot of control through the majority of the first 3 innings. But he'll go ahead and put a couple warm-up pitches in. See Grimace in there just taking a chance, and I think he's being a little tender with it as he comes up and down the mound, but he's working fast as always.
Now, Nielsen is left-handed, and so you have to take into account that is not the plant. That's not the foot that he's going to be planting next to the rubber, but that is the foot that he will be using when he extends to go forward towards the batter's box, and he'll be putting all of his momentum and weight on that foot. And so if that foot is in any serious pain, you will definitely see that show, especially with his follow-through and with how his pitches come across.
Absolutely, and he takes a big first step, so he has to be able to trust it when he plants it and shifts that weight, that he's going to be able to get the velocity and the stability out of that foot.
And this ball gets by Jarvis, and the runners do not go. Jarvis didn't know where the ball was at first.
Zach Holmes there, really, if he would have made the decision right away to go home, probably would have had a great chance. Jarvis did not see where that ball when it got away from him, where that ball went when it got away from him.
The 1-0 pitch. Fouled just shy of first base. Matt Creer makes the play. If he dropped it, probably would have been called an infield fly anyway. I didn't see the umpire make an official move with his hands. But Tanner Nielsen and the Dons, they'll take it. 2 away. And that brings up Cade Cloward, one of the senior captains of the squad, with a chance to do some damage as the bases are loaded with 2 outs. And he takes Nielsen's offering inside for ball 1.
Another thing we hadn't seen from Nielsen yet, coming that far in and low. I guess he's been with his feet a little bit, but Jarvis ready for it.
Ball 2 from Nielsen. 2 balls. No strikes to Cloward. And this one is drilled into, slicing down the line. If it stays fair, it is single. It barely misses the foul line. As we see the wind start to pick up down here at Russell Swenson Park. That wind, take a look at that flag out in center field. That thing is coming straight at the batter, coming straight in from center field. And we saw that ball just tail away from Tanner Harrison.
Sliced worse than my 7-iron. It just, that looked like it was going to be incredibly straight. A well-hit ball, but it looked like it was going to be fair by a good 20, 30 feet. And it just kept slicing and turned out to be a little bit of a break for the Dons.
2-1 pitch to Cloward. Breaking ball misses outside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
With 2 outs in the bases juice, the Dons are, the Wasps, ready to run. They're taking some big leads. And if you're Nielsen, you just got to think, you got to ignore them and get the ball in the strike zone.
And this one narrowly misses the line as well. That one looked even more sure of a base hit than the first.
And that one almost too fast to be affected by the wind. Just a couple of really, really good bounces for Nielsen. If the painter had, taken a little misstep to the left, that one is going to land in.
Yeah, they use spray paint these days, not like the old days.
Oh, they don't chalk the lines?
I think I saw a little spray paint action going on. But nevertheless, Cloward battling against Nielsen, and Nielsen battling as well. Payoff pitch. Fouled and out of play. Cloward forces Nielsen to keep on throwing.
Base runners getting some wind sprints in here, just taking off every time. Cloward doing a great job. And Nielsen did a good job. I think he started this at-bat throwing 2 balls, and he's come back. It's a full count, and it's going to be the first guy to make a mistake.
Here come the runners, and there's a ground ball. The second should be playable, and it is. So, with the bases loaded,
What
with
it
one
is.
out, Tanner Nielsen and the Duns escape.
1 out at a time. That's all you ask for, and he just gets the ground ball. And, 3 runs are impending, but he takes care of business.
Holmes comes up with an RBI single to put the Wasps ahead 1-0. The Dons of Spanish Fork grab their bats looking to answer here in the bottom of the third. Don't go anywhere. More action here on SFCN Channel 17. Bottom of the third inning here. 1-0 is a lead for the Wasatch Wasps. Brandon Crow alongside Mitchell Marshall. We want to take the time to thank our sponsors, MVP Sports and the Car Guys. Your hometown sporting goods specialist since 1987 is MVP Sports. Visit their website at mvpsportsutah.com. Customized uniforms, equipment, shoes, sporting goods, they got it all at MVP Sports.
Of course, MVP Sports sponsors our MVP of the game, and we've seen some excellent play so far. Not a lot of explosive offense, but keep an eye out for who that most valuable player will be.
McCord Larson with the 1-0 lead, looks to get ahead early, misses with that pitch. 1-0 is the count to Roberts as he leads off the bottom of the third for Spanish Fork. Roberts struck out his first time up in the bottom of the second.
Ooh.
And Larson almost hits him in the head. So 2 balls and no strike.
Always going to be ready to wear one, but sometimes out on the neck.
Larson looking like his velocity is picking up here a little bit in the bottom of the third, but his accuracy is diminishing. Roberts maybe thought that was a little bit low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the offering from Larson. Fouled straight back to the fence. Again, both of these pitchers, Mitch, they love to battle, and they've been in their fair share of 3-ball counts and full counts for that matter. And again, we see Larson with a full count here. That one barely missed. I don't know where that missed at all, or if it hit our Roberts.
And Roberts, he was ready to go. He knew where the ball was. Cloward wanted to check down to see if he'd gone, but Roberts felt good about it. And that's one thing. We've seen a lot of full counts, seen a lot of foul balls, but sometimes the best thing you can do in a full count is have the confidence not to swing at a ball.
Devin Argyle is your batter now as Larson throws back to keep Roberts at bay at first. Argyle flied out to right his first time up. Again, Larson throwing back to first.
It's a good first base move from a right-hander as well. But Roberts not threatening too much.
McCord Larson liking that low, about shin to knee-high area. That's where a lot of his strikes have come today.
If you can find an area you like and the ump is calling that area, keep going. Keep going back to it.
Third time is not the charm. Larson trying to catch Roberts leaning. Roberts so far hasn't given away to anything. 0-1 pitch. And the runner goes. It is a hit and run, perfectly executed. And the runner well on his way to third. Here comes the throw that will not be in time. Roberts makes it to third, and the throw gets away. And we have a tie ball game here, Mitch.
That is a series of unfortunate events for Wasatch. Trying to cover the man at second when he sees him steal, and the hit and run works perfection off of that shortstop. You can check it out right here, but then the ball on the throw back to second as a great move by Argyle to try and swipe second. Gets his man home. Aggressive base running causes a bad throw, and that's one of the big mistakes you can see happen in high school baseball is one mistake turn into multiple mistakes.
So we're all tied up here in the bottom of the third. Devin Argyle executes a perfect hit and run, which springs Nick Roberts home to score off of the errant throw from Ledger at third, going to second. And that brings up Golish, who had a single up the middle, his first at-bat of the ball game. And a single up the middle here could potentially take the lead for the Dons.
Love to see that. Love to see him also see if he can take that ground ball, wait on it, and go opposite. Not quite on that one, though. As he fouls it back, it's a little pound to the bat. He knows that he's got the ability to take this one.
Golish, very aggressive hitter and very dominant stance at the mound. Stands a little close to the plate with his arms extended. Can very well generate power to that right center gap. And discipline at the plate gives him the 2-1 favor. Again, 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the third. Nobody out. Runner at second. Golish is your batter. Larson still on the mound. And he misses with that curveball. As Clay Coward wants to have a little chat with his pitcher.
You want to see two things from a pitcher. You want to see him dominate. You want to see him throw strikes and get quick innings. But something Tanner Nielsen did after cruising through a couple of innings was get out of a big jam with very limited damage. And we'll see if McCord Larson can do the same thing right here with one guy in on an unfortunate error and one man now in scoring position.
Here's the 3-1 offering from Larson. And Larson misses, and Golish, has the second walk of the half inning.
And as McCord Larson knows all too well, from this inning, walks can come back to haunt you, but one out at a time. Wasatch see if they can buckle down on defense, make smart throws, and make their way back to the dugout with no outs right now.
And that brings up first baseman Matt Creer. Matt Creer grounded to short, but the ball was booted and awarded. Nice pick play over at first by Cole Kelly. That advances the runners from from first and second to second and third. But again, if Cole Kelly doesn't snag that ball, that is easily at least a double down the line and a bases clearing one at that.
May have saved 2 runs right there, but Creer could say, hey, I advanced those runners. Let's see if with one out we can get something in play and bring one of those boys home, if not both. A curve that never curved, and that came in and landed right on McKinnon Jarvis.
McKinnon Jarvis was expecting that ball to break, and it didn't. Turned his shoulders around, hit him right between the numbers, and he'll take the free base. That loads the bases for the Dons and brings up left fielder, the senior Jason Money, who has an opportunity to live up to his name and cash in some runs for his team. High pitch from Larson, and Clower doing a good job coming up out of the stretch to grab that one before it went to the backstop. So only one away here in the bottom of the third inning. 1-1 ball game, bases loaded for the Dons. And Money fouls this one out of play.
Big swing there by Money, and that got out in a hurry just the wrong way. Back up over our heads.
Money struck out his last time up. And Wasatch's pitching coach is going to come out and have a talk with McCord Larson. Technically only 2 1/3 innings pitched, and McCord has thrown his fair share of pitches so far.
Absolutely, a lot of deep counts.
the Don's making him work for everything he's got so far. Wasatch wants to make sure he's feeling ready to go, as like we told you before, he threw a complete game 2-hitter against Mountain View last week and ended up losing that ball game.
Spanish Fork, though, no stranger to the movement he's putting on his pitches, something that see guys like Nielsen do in their own backyard.
Right after that meeting on the mound, Larson comes back in with a strike. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Money. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Money. Bases juiced. Opportunity, big opportunity here for the Dons. And here comes Larson. Swung on and dribbled to third. No play is made by Ledger. Ledger came in, took his eye off of the ball for a split second, which causes glove to raise, and the ball trickled right underneath.
With those runners going, it would have been a pretty tough play at the plate. See right here, good move coming in, but he was just looking too soon, wanted to get that hand out of that glove with ball. Doesn't end up getting the ball in the first place. That replay brought to you by the Car Guys. But just a tough play, tough spot to put the ball for your infielder, and no way to turn to, looking to get the out at home, but nothing doing. So now we've got Taylor Harrison at the plate with still 1 out. Limited damage. McCord Larson, still has the opportunity to get out of here with some limited damage, but got to make some pitches.
And that ball is drilled to left field, but Colton Wynn is there to make the catch. Tagging up home is the 3rd run for the Dons of the inning.
It's a double-edged sword there for Colton Wynn. Fantastic catch. But as he came in, he came up firing to second and couldn't quite handle it to the second baseman, but a really good idea to try and get that out, but that also gave the opportunity for the tag. You can see right here, great throw, but then bounces off the foot, which means no chance at the plate, and that 3rd run crosses the board.
A couple of singles and 3 runs so far here in the 3rd inning for the Dons. And McCord Larson is battling back after beginning the inning with a 1-0 lead. You saw that lead quickly disappear, and now he's in the hole down 2 runs. And he is in the hole against Tanner Argyle. 2-0 is the count with still 1 out and runners at first and second.
Argyle number 2 at the plate. 2 of these Argyle's in the starting lineup. I look great in Argyle, just in case you were wondering.
That you do. I will attest to that as he's wearing Argyle right now. 3 balls and no strikes to Tanner Argyle.
His go-to sweater, looking a great last name. We need to figure out the etymology of that, though. Not sure quite where Argyle comes from. I just know it's a great pattern and a couple good ball players.
And 4 straight pitches, 4 balls, and McCord Larson gives up another walk to load the bases again, and we still have only 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Going to see Walker Jones come to the plate for the 2nd time. And first time up he had a ground out, but this will mean that the Dons have batted around in the inning. But three runs, not insurmountable, and still very manageable. There you go, starts things off right against Jones with a strike. Jones looking to break this open, and Larson looking to settle down and see if he can keep his boys close.
A check swing, and Jones goes across the plate, so that helps Larson's cause. So 3 balls and 1 strike. And Jones
Oh,
blue single over Kelly's head into shallow right field.
scores.
And here come the Dons pouring it on now against McCord Larson and the Wasatch Wasps.
2-run double there for Jones, and still now 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs. No visit to the mound for McCord Larson. He's going to see Nick Roberts for the second time this inning and see if he can get him out. Walked him to start this inning. Roberts, the first run that crossed.
And McCord Larson misses low and in the dirt. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Good piece of discipline from Roberts. Looked like he wanted to swing at that one, but laid off.
When your team's hitting the way it is, every pitch looks appealing because you want to be part of it, but good eye there and a good pitch really from Larson.
Here's the 2-0. Almost the same spot. 3 balls and no strikes.
Lot of 3-ball counts.
First base is open. Runners at second and third. And McCord Larson puts that one right over the plate. 3 balls and 1 strike to Roberts.
No reason to swing there for Roberts. I'd be surprised if he does here as well.
Fouls that one down the line. Roberts hitless on the day. Struck out his first time up. And like you said, Mitch, walked to begin the inning. Looking for his first hit of the ball game. And depending on where that hit would go, possibly 2 more runs could come across the board. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Second
Good way to
strikeout
end
of the ball game for Roberts. So he leads off and closes the bottom of the third, but not before Spanish Fork gets some damage.
Absolutely a great showing on offense there by Spanish Fork. They just watched them for a couple innings and came back and took advantage of what they'd seen in those first couple of bats.
So Spanish Fork tacks on 5, and we go into the top of the 4th inning. Wasatch trails the Dons 5-1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more baseball here on SFCN Channel 17. Ledger leads off the top of the 4th inning, flying out to Walker Jones. 1 up, 1 down. Tanner Nielsen looking to keep his defensive work quick, and that brings up Davis now.
1 pitch, 1 out. That is the way to start.
Right fielder Garrett Davis. One count.
There's that looping curve that he's been looking for, dropping right on the outside of the plate.
Swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Nielsen. Here's the 1-2. Fouled out of play to stay alive. Davis flied out to center field his first time up. Here's the 1-2. Again, banged out of play.
Davis is reaching, but not a bad idea because that outside spot has been real good for Nielsen getting those called strikes. So maybe a time when you got to lean over and get the barrel on the bat on the outside of the plate.
And Nielsen continues to work outside and misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Davis. Maybe he's trying to set him up for an inside pitch. Inside black right here. We'll see what he has to offer. Comes back over the plate, and Davis fouls that one out of play.
Davis already taken more pitches than we've seen Wasatch take an entire inning today, so fouls are a good thing.
And he forces a full count from Nielsen.
He worked for that full count. Let's see if he can.
Here's the payoff pitch. Pops straight up. Should be playable for Jarvis. Over by his own dugout, and he makes the catch.
Not an easy ball to track. Absolutely stellar play there by Jarvis, and Nielsen again. Quick work, 2 up and 2 down as he sees batter 7 and 8 from the Wasps.
Jarvis with the put out on the Car Guys instant replay. The Car Guys, visit them at thecarguysut.net. Car Guys have been our guys taking care of our cars in the Spanish Fork community area for quite some time. We appreciate them and all that they do for the channel and their support in the community. Darrow. No balls, 2 strikes, 0-2 count. Looks to try to keep this inning alive for the Wasps. Maybe try to find another 2-out single somewhere. And Nielsen has that pitch get away from Jarvis in the dirt. One ball, 2 strikes to Darrow. And Darrow barely misses a single, possibly a double down the line. That ball just foul.
You could almost see his eyes track that one, and he almost got it to just run down that line with a very patient but good swing.
And a comebacker. And Nielsen does it himself. So 3 up, 3 down. Very easy, comfortable inning for the Dons. And after they tacked on 5 in the bottom of the 3rd, Tanner Nielsen and company will grab their bats and look on to tack on some more. Don't go anywhere. Spanish Fork and the Dons coming up to hit next here on SFCN Channel 17.
Welcome back to SFCN Channel 17. Dons, Wasps battling it out. Saw some pitching battle through the first 2 innings, and last inning we were able to see the Dons break through, and they're back up, looking to get that started once again.
Devin Argyle gets things off for the Dons here in the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 3rd, he executed a hit and run and then advanced on an error from Ledger that eventually would bring Roberts home to score, and Argyle bangs this one into left field, and he is aboard again for the 2nd straight time.
Hot shot there, tipping off the glove of Ledger. But it's one you can just stab for. Brings it
Ledger,
right over his head there.
not much Ledger could do. They don't call it the hot corner for nothing. And that brings up Ryan Golish. Ryan Golish walked in the bottom of the 3rd. And Golish fouls this one out of play. Again, the Dons of Spanish Fork enjoying a 5-1 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Ooh. Golish just missed that one. He was sitting on that fastball too. Here's the 0-2. Golish lays off. Larson tried to fool him, tried to get him to chase an outside pitch. Golish said no. Here's Larson's 1-2. And this one banged into center field on his horse, and making the play is Zach Holmes.
Good play by Zach Holmes. Can't emphasize enough that it's a pretty big outfield, and with some powerful hitters up, the Wasps playing fairly shallow, and he just got a beat on that one, and with the wind whipping as well, moves to his left and grabs that.
First baseman, number 21, Matt Greer.
The first step as an outfielder is always the hardest to judge and to read where the ball is going to be coming at you from. That one looked like it was coming right at him, but with that wind, began to sail away. But Zach Holmes making the play to get the out.
See if McCord Larson can get a ground ball here, maybe turn 2, but either way, we have not seen him able to keep the ball down as it comes off the bats at the Dons.
We have yet to see a double play turn by either squad. McCord Larson trying to hit that outside corner again, misses low and away. One ball, one strike to the first baseman. That ball is banged out of play. That ball still went pretty far given the wind was blowing against it.
Yeah, it was a big swing. He got a lot on it, just not how you want to see it, a little early, and big pull from a big man in Creer.
We know Creer can go the other way. He hit that bullet to Kelly at first his last time up. And Creer does go the opposite way. And this one, again, with help from the wind, getting blown too far out of play as Garrett Davis cannot make the catch in foul territory.
Skied that one in on a clear day. That may have a chance, or we might even think about it landing fair, but that one ended up 25 feet or so foul as got real high and the wind just took it.
There is some action in the Wasps bullpen, but McCord Larson still on the hill for the Wasps. Trailing 5-1, and he throws back to keep Devin Argyle at bay.
The Wasps not out of it. They've definitely gotten some base runners. Didn't get that big hit, but 4 runs isn't insurmountable.
And that pitch came inside and fouled off out of play. Matt Creer fighting to get a good pitch to hit. Showing some good piece of hitting at the plate right now.
Not many swings and misses, though, in the last inning and a half for the Dons. Seeing whatever's coming out of Larson's hand.
And this one's skied up, and the wind takes that out of play over our heads.
As soon as I said that, I thought, you know what, he's going to swing and miss right now, because I said it.
Yeah,
But Creer,
the announcer's jinx.
he's still on it.
Still 1-2. Here's Larson's offering. Back to first. Checks Argyle again. Oh, he pulled the string on that curveball, and Creer goes down swinging.
What a great timed pitch when you think about what's coming next. I think he's really just been trying to throw strikes, but there he had a lot of confidence, and he let that ball drop in and gets Creer to go down swinging. Maybe that's the key is switch it up and throw some things you haven't been thrown.
McKenna Jarvis was hit by a pitch last inning. He steps up to the plate with the runner at first and 2 outs and a 5-1 lead. Looking to extend the inning for the Dons. McCord Larson and the Wasps looking to put an end to this inning to get back to swinging their bats. High looping curveball misses. 1-1 count.
I don't know if we've seen an 0-2 count this inning from Larson, but definitely calmed himself down and throwing some better balls. Less hitters counts.
And that ball gets away from Cloward. And Argyle advances to second on the wild pitch. So 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. McKinnon Jarvis, the catcher, is your batter. Devin Argyle at second base. McCord Larson on the bump for the Wasps. Here's the 2-1. Looping curveball misses again high. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 3-1 offering. Right off the hill.
Oh.
And that barely gets by Carson Law. And Argyle comes around from second to score. 6-1, Dons over the Wasps.
That ball with a little bit of a wicked bounce, almost controlled, but just gets away from him, and that's one more run in for the Dons.
Now batting for the Dons, left fielder number
Check out the
10,
replay right here. Just that mound, you never know how it's going to come off of there, and no chance for Josh Darrow at short.
Jason Money at the dish for the Dons with 2 outs.
11, Nick Harrison.
One ball, 1 strike to Jason Money. Money last inning got aboard courtesy of an error from Ledger at third. And the runner does go. And another hit and run. Ledger with a shot at redemption. Fires over to Cole Kelly at first to retire Money. But the Dons tack on another run. And their lead is extended now 6-1. The Wasps desperately need some more runs as we head into the top of the 5th inning here on SFCN Channel 17.
Back to SFCN. Here's the pitch to Carson Law. And that comes in low as a ball. Just want to remind you that we are here because of MVP Sports. They provide you with convenient, easy silking instruments. And the car guys. Great people. MVP Sports, they do T-shirts, sweaters, caps, tote bags, which are essential these days, duffel bags, work attire, and more. It can be custom, family union, uniforms. They do it all. Outside there, and a 3-0 start from Tanner Nielsen, who's probably one of our early candidates for MVP Sports, MVP of the game. Just 1 run across, got out of some trouble.
And very uncharacteristically, leadoff. He gives up a leadoff walk to Carson Law to begin the bottom of the 5th. Excuse me, the top of the 5th inning.
Sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes it's not a big hit. Just start off on base. The Wasps are at the top of their lineup. The guys that they're most confident in coming to the plate now.
That's Nielsen's 3rd walk he's given up on the day.
And a 5th strike in a row right there to Holmes.
Curveball outside corner for strike 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Nielsen. Bang that a play.
I think that might have hit off a light pole again. So you owe somebody some money because that has been hit twice.
We should put a target out there. And this one just over our heads in the booth.
Please return all foul balls to the dugouts. All foul balls to the dugouts, please.
A friendly reminder, if you are here at Russell Swenson Park and you're streaming this on your mobile device somehow and you saw a foul ball or caught it, please return it. And Nielsen misses outside for the first ball to Holmes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And nobody out. Law at first. Wasps trail 5. Here's a high chopper over the head of Nielsen. Tries to make a diving play. Coming up to make a play is Walker Jones, and he does not get Holmes at first. So first time in the game that Wasatch has been able to get 2 runners on base back-to-back.
Absolutely, and nobody out with the 3rd guy coming up. check this one out. The replay presented to you by the Car Guys. Good play coming in from Carson Law, but I mean, probably that's Walker Jones, but tough ball to try and pick up on the run. Strike there from Nielsen to his counterpart, McCord Larson. Nielsen works so fast, it seems he sets, and his feet almost never stop moving.
Larson fouls this one out of play. Larson 2 for 2 on the day with an RBI single an RBI single to left, in the third, and a 2-out double to left center in the first. Cord Larson getting it done at the dish. Coach Schul said in the beginning of the ball game he is by far and away the hottest bat in the lineup right now for the Wasps. Schul was hoping that he could keep that hot streak going on the rubber today, and he started out pretty decent, had a 1-0 lead, but then saw that lead very quickly disappear in the bottom of the third, where Wasatch tacked on 5 runs, followed by an additional run in the fourth, and brings us to our 6-1 ball game that we have right now as Nielsen picks up that foot and goes back to second to look Law back to second base.
Larson wants to see here if he can get a couple runs back. You always feel a little bit responsible as a pitcher, and if you're in the 3-hole, you've got an opportunity to get some back. Pulls that one, however. I like the no glove look.
A little old school, Moises Alou style.
That's right. Not a lot of guys do it. They like to flash in his gloves, and some of these Wasatch guys have some nice gloves. Complement the yellow on the uniform well.
A lot of nice gear on both sides of the diamond today. And Nielsen misses that. Off-speed pitch. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swung on again and fouled out of play.
He's got a beat on it. He's seeing it. See if Nielsen makes a mistake, leaves one of those fastballs over.
Over the Wasatch dugout. Looked like it had a chance for a second for Ryan Golish over at third, or even McKinnon Jarvis at the catcher position to make a play in front of the Wasatch dugout, but that wind carrying that ball up and away, foul. And Larson lives to see another pitch.
Still 1-2.
Here's Nielsen, and he misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Larson. Here's the 2-2. Big looping curveball outside corner of the plate. Larson goes down looking.
That's a tough one to watch, and again, one that hasn't been dropping in the center of the plate. Usually if he's hitting those, they're looping to the outside part of the plate, but probably a good idea not to pull the trigger from Larson. Just couldn't see it, but unfortunately that one fell right where Tanner Nielsen wanted it to. Chase Adams now at the plate for the Wasps. Still just 1 out and 2 on for the Wasps.
That was Nielsen's 3rd strikeout of the ball game. And a base hit up the middle, has a potential to score a run, and looks like it will. Runner trying to advance to third. There's the throw. It is in time, but offline. And Wasatch has a Wasp come across the plate here in the top of the 5th. 6-2 now is your score.
Good piece of hitting right back up the middle. And then the play at third should have been made just a little bit offline, and a risky run there from Holmes, but the run does come across, and Adams doing work on a first pitch. And then here's one hit to center.
Looks like a potential play at the plate. Here comes the throw. Nick Roberts' throw is offline, and another RBI, 2nd run scored of the inning for the Wasps. 6-3 now is the score.
quick back-to-back hits for the Wasps. Maybe that's been some good advice from Coach. Just take a swing in that first pitch, and sometimes you have to stop thinking about what pitch is coming and try and get a piece of it and put it in play. Just eye the ball and take a swing. Tanner Nielsen might be losing some velocity at this point.
Cade Clower, the catcher, steps up to the plate and takes that pitch for a strike. Another runner on second. The runner in scoring position for the Wasps to make it a 2-run ball game. All Cloud would need is a base hit. And then big looping curveball comes across the plate for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Cloud not happy, wanted time right before that pitch, and it just fell in for Nielsen.
Nielsen trying to get out of this inning before any more runs come across the board. Here's his pitch. Clower drills this one into left field. And will we have a play from Jason Money? The throw is definitely not in time. Back-to-back runs come across the plate for the Wasps, and we have a 6-4 ball game. Things are getting a little interesting here in the top of the 5th.
The Wasps trying to put together an inning like the third for the Dons, and so far doing good work and 2-out runs, something you love to see as a coach. Good job there, though, by Ryan Golish, deciding not to cut that one off, but to threaten it. May have done the job of keeping the runner at first, where they tried to play at the plate when it probably wasn't there.
Looks like a speed-up runner, number 6, Nash Jones, coming in to replace Cade Cloward at first. Cade Cloward will come back into the ball game if Coach Schul chooses.
Give him time to get his gear back on and get some speed on the bases.
And a first pitch curveball for a strike from Nielsen to Ledger.
Wasps really swinging away at early pitches, see if they continue to do so. The only way they've been able to get to Nielsen.
Nielsen trying to come back with the same curveball. Misses low this time. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ledger. Ledger seeing a lot of action on the defensive side over at the hot corner today. Not much of a move from Nielsen. He's just trying to be honest with the runner at first with Nash. Here's the 1-1. And he channels his inner Mick Jagger, paints it black on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Caden Ledger. Choke up. Defensive time at the plate. Just misses that pitch on the outside part of the plate was Nielsen. Kenneth Jones crouches, sets up inside. Nielsen comes inside, and Ledger bangs this one down the line. Just foul.
That might be the hardest hit ball we've seen all day, but he definitely pulled it and not quite able to keep it in, but that one was smoked.
That would have brought in the 4th run of the inning.
Maybe the 5th. If it hits that right spot out there.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Little dribbler. Coach Schul showing not the leather, but the skin with the barehanded play. Nice grab from the coach down the third base line.
Couple pulls in a row. See if Wasp here can sit back on one just a little bit.
Nielsen with the quick delivery. Fires high and outside. Ball 3 now as Ledger works the count from what was 0-2 to now full. Ledger battling, trying to keep this inning alive for the rest of the Wasps.
Nash Jones at first. Big lead.
Payoff pitch, swung on and
took
missed.
Off. Almost.
And that is Nielsen's 4th strikeout of the ball game. But the Wasps tack on 3 runs, and they're only down 2. We got ourselves a very, very interesting ball game here heading into the bottom of the 5th as Spanish Fork and the Dons grab their bats, looking to keep their lead ahead. Don't go anywhere, folks. More baseball here on SFC and Channel 17. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Russell Swenson Park.
Leading off for the Dons,
Wasatch
bottom of the 5th inning.
tacks on 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning
Harrison.
to narrow the gap between the Dons of Spanish Fork. 6-4 is your score here in the bottom of the 5th. McCord Larson still on the mound for the Wasps, and he misses with that first pitch. 1-0 is the count to Taylor Harrison. Coming right back inside for a strike as he hits that with a curveball. And drilled down the line, but foul. So that's just a long strike in the books. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Harrison.
Last time up, Harrison with a sac fly. Call the RBI.
A check swing. Not sure if you wanted to swing at that one fully, but the bat caught a piece of the ball, and that's another strike. He stays alive, luckily. So still 1-2 count to Harrison. McCord Larson trying to get him to chase something in the dirt. Harrison shows good discipline at the dish.
Lowe's, but what's been working for him, so I'd say he'll make that mistake, but hoping throws for strikes.
Again, another ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count to Harrison.
A lot of full counts today.
Here's the payoff pitch.
Ooh.
Just misses the shoulder, or the cheek, rather, of Harrison. But nevertheless, it is a ball, and Harrison is awarded with a walk.
Would be nice for the Dons to get 2+ runs here. I think would really send a message because the Wasps with just a 3-run inning really put themselves back in the game, and it's look good for the Dons if they can build that up.
Tanner Argyle lays down the bunt. McCord Larson goes to second to try to get the lead runner, but that throw gets away. And Harrison gracefully slides into third base after an errant throw. That would have been a very good situation for Wasatch. Turned wrong.
Oh, looks like an excellent throw from Larson. Not able to handle it out there. It looks like his number 14, David McKay. He faked it pretty well, but in the end that goes into center field. And now the Dons with men at the corners threatening again with no outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
A little third to first fake to try to get Argyle at first. And this one banged to left, and that will fall. Colton Wynn can't come up with it. 1 run will score. And a double, RBI double for Walker Jones. Gets back one of the 3 runs that Wasatch scored in the top of the inning. And I think that might have been it for McCord Larson.
Check that one. Waits just long enough. Drives it out to left field. And brings one more home. Gets the Dons another opportunity to make a big move.
And that will be it for McCord Larson. We're going to step away for a quick break as a pitching change coming for Wasatch. Don't go anywhere, folks. The rest of the bottom of the 5th inning right here on SFCN.
Auto, home, commercial, and so much more. Both my car and my home are covered by American Family, and I love the savings.
I couldn't be happier with the way I've been treated by Tim at American Family Insurance. I'm not just a number, I'm Jack.
Tim Shanto in Spanish Fork has received the Distinguished Agency Award for the past 7 years for his level of customer service.
Let my family help your family. Save money on your insurance needs.
American Family Insurance.
Here at Brockton & Bullion & Coin, we are here for all of your gold and silver needs. We sell silver rounds, highest quality, highest purity, and you don't have to worry about whether they're certified because they are. We also sell collectible gold coins, gold bullion, Morgan silver dollars, our specialty silver rounds like this baseball. Everything you could think about is available through Brockton Bullion & Coin right here in Spanish Fork.
Welcome back to SFCN Channel 17 high school baseball coverage. We're brought to you by the Car Guys. They offer the best prices on vehicles in Spanish Fork with knowledgeable sales representatives committed to providing you with a no-pressure buying experience. You can find them at thecarguysut.net. Right now, up to bat, number 2 for the Dons.
Leadoff man Nick Roberts steps up to the dish as we have a new pitcher stepping into the game for Wasatch. Number 19, Ryan Gurney, takes over for McCord Larson, and he inherits 2 runners, second and third. Should those runs come across, those would be charged to Larson. But Roberts is fully responsible. So 2 pitches, 1-1 count to Roberts. Gurney looking to do some quick work to get out of this inning here. Big rainbow curveball, misses on the outside part of the plate.
Gurney is long, but you can see he comes from the side a little bit. Quite a sweeping move. Watch out for runners with that extended move to get a little bit of a nice start if they're heading out of there.
Low and away, misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Gurney tried to come inside with a curveball, misses low. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Roberts. Roberts started the infamous bottom of the 3rd inning off with a walk and then concluded that same inning with a strikeout for the Dons. Drills this one down the line to Ledger. Ledger throws it to Kelly for the out. So first out of the inning.
Good work, looking the runner back from going home, and then a really strong throw over to Cole Kelly at first. And Gurney would love to see a couple more plays just like that. Infield is almost on the grass for Wasatch.
Devin Argyle steps up to the plate. And Gurney again coming inside, misses low. 1-0 the count. Argyle singled to left and advanced to second off of an errant throw last time up. And chops this one. Oh, it looks like we got ourselves a pickle. Good heads-up play by Josh Darrow. That was a huge lead. It was by Walker Jones at second base.
2 great plays, keeping the ball in front of them, checking that runner at 4, not throwing anything too quickly, because not only can you make a throwing mistake, but if you make that decision a little too quickly, that is going to give the opportunity for somebody to advance. And the important thing there was not only were they able to get an out, but they limited the scoring. Honestly, even if 1 run scores there, to get that second out in a situation where you have very little control and the scoreboard's bleeding a little bit, great moves right now, keeping themselves within striking distance.
Ryan Golish to the plate with 2 outs. Wants nothing to do with that curveball that misses high and outside. Golish flied out to center in the bottom of the 4th inning and walked in the 3rd. Looks like a balk was called. So the runners will advance, and another run comes across the plate for the Dons. 8-4.
Tough break for Gurney because he's getting that ball down and getting the Dons to get on top of it, and just a bad step there with a pretty extensive move for Gurney.
That takes away the nearest RBI opportunity for Golish, but with the runner at second base, a base hit or a double would score.
Nick Harrison now goes in there for the Dons in second base, give a little more speed, see if they can capitalize on him being in scoring position.
Here's the 1-0 pitch from Gurney to Golish. Misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Low and away, 3 balls and no strikes from Gurney to Golish. Bottom of the 5th inning, 8-4. Spanish Fork lead over Wasatch. Gurney finds the strike zone, 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. Runner at second. Spanish Fork trying to add to their lead. And Golish draws ball 4. Another walk. Charge to the Wasatch pitchers. And that brings up first baseman Matt Creer.
I think the Dons know right now that they had a couple guys swinging early, and Gurney was able to get a couple easy outs, and I think they're taking time with him, and now Gurney has to respond equally and put the ball in the strike zone.
4 straight balls from Gurney as that first pitch to Creer is low and in the dirt. And that one misses high. 5 straight balls. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dons are being instructed to not swing until they get a strike.
I think Creer likes that high heat as well. It was a good job of saying, hey, we're going to make him throw strikes.
Gurney finds a strike zone. 2 balls and 1 strike to Creer. Three balls and 1 strike to Creer. Again, Gurney missing low and in the dirt.
If you're Creer here, you got a hitter's count and want to swing the bat, but maybe you lay off because he isn't able to throw strikes too often.
Here's the 3-1, and Creer bloops this one into center field. And another run is going to come across to the plate. There's the throw at third. The throw gets by Leisure. Does not go into the dugout. But the 9th run of the ball game comes across in the bottom of the 5th.
Tough break. Strong arms out there for Wasatch, but they're not quite able to handle them. Just seem to be missing the balls as they come in. And Spanish Fork able to take advantage of a hitter's count. And, you know, when you have a 3-run lead, maybe you can swing sometimes when you should let one go. And had to feel good for Creer. He advances to second on the throw. And the lead has really gotten big for the Dons.
McKenna Jarvis now to the plate. The catcher looking to extend this lead and extend the inning for the Dons. He was hit by a pitch last at bat.
Last couple runs coming with 2 outs for the Dons.
Two balls, no strike, 2 outs. 2-1 now to McKenna Jarvis. Gurney trying to stop the bleeding. And he fights this one into center field. And a nice play made by Zach Holmes. A diving effort to end the inning.
Got a great beat on it right off the bat. So it popped off that bat and just got taken by the wind a little bit, but he saw it, kept his body in front of it, and check this out as he just extends and is able to get that on his way down, pulls it up. To some degree, able to limit the damage. There were 2 men in scoring position, and the Dons are hitting with 2 outs, but good work there on defense, and we're going to see how Wasatch can respond on offense when we come back here on SFCN.
9-4 is your score here at Russell Swenson Park. The Dons of Spanish Fork continue to get runs in the last 3 innings. 3 in the last inning alone, and they lead 9-4. As that ball gets by Ryan Golish at third, and Davis is aboard with the leadoff. I don't know what they're going to call that. I would call that a hit because if Golish still fields that cleanly, he's got to make a throw from his back foot deep in the corner across the field.
Tough play. He kept it low, and he really drove it right down the line. Popped out last time, so really a good batting adjustment from Davis, and he gets himself on base to start the inning.
Nielsen still in the ball game with a very, very comfortable 5-run lead. Been pretty solid so far in the ball game. Wasatch, of course, last inning tacked on 4. And again, a nice play from Golish. Diving glove save. And that is a Sports Center-esque play from the third baseman.
And Golish is stoked about it. Fantastic curving that ball in the grass. Being up, getting the ball there as quickly as he can. Runner advances. Second straight ground out for Darrow, but able to move that runner over. But Golish is pumped. Knows he missed that one down the line. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch to Law.
Law looking to help his team out in any way possible. Specifically, he would love to advance that runner at second. And looks like he will be able to as that pitch was drilled into right field. Stand-up double easily for Law. And it tack on an RBI, 9-5.
Able to bring Darrow home there. Second straight time that Law is able to help his team get something going. Last time up in the 5th. As you watch this one more time coming right down the line. Good play out in right field by Garrett Davis, but excellent piece of hitting there. Now, when they scored a few runs last inning, he got that started with a walk. So good things coming from Mr. Law as Wasatch is trying to match Spanish Fork as they go on a big run. See if Wasatch can bring it back and maybe shake up Tanner Nielsen a little bit.
It's always good when you can get your captains and your leaders involved. The leaders for Wasatch, Law, Larson, Adams, and Cloward. When those guys are productive, Coach Schul says there's really nothing that can stop them. Law with the RBI single trying to bring his team closer to the Dons. Still, Isaac Nielsen with a very comfortable lead, 9-5.
Holmes got on base with an error last time and move into the heart of the Wasp lineup to see if those key hitters can this time around see Tanner Nielsen's ball and start another rally.
That pitch was outside, but Sterling Nelson, the home plate umpire, said that came across in the strike zone. Nielsen will take it. And a balk is called against Nielsen, and so that favors the Wasatch Wasps as Law advances to third.
Nielsen just not able to keep that foot down as he was looking back and forth with the runner. You have to stay set once you get to that point, and he moved off the rubber as he was trying to decide what he should do with Law.
Nielsen misses with that curveball outside of the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Holmes. 1 out in the top of the 6th. Law is at third. And the infield playing normal depth. Corners even with the bag. Middle infield pretty deep. And this one is banged down the line and foul. Although a valiant effort by Taylor Harrison.
Good piece of hitting there by Holmes. Waited on it, went the other way, and I think the wind affected that one a little bit. It hung up, but it looked like it could have blooped on down. But fortunately for the Dons, goes foul, and Holmes will have to come back and fight another pitch with 2 strikes on him.
So Nielsen with the 1-2 count. Gets Holmes to swing and foul that one back, and Holmes stays alive.
Holmes wanted that one. It looked coming away like he really thought he had a beat on it. So we'll see if Nielsen recognizes that and tries to make him chase one because that one was a little bit high and outside.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And Holmes goes down swinging. 4th strikeout of the ball game.
Now batting number 4.
Came in on him a little bit, and Holmes, I think, was in a swinging mode with 2 strikes. He was coming at that one.
Looks like we might have a pitching change, and I think that will be all she wrote for Nielsen. And that is it. So Nielsen, 5 2/3 innings pitched, and he leaves the ball game giving up 5 runs with a 9-5 lead. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with the rest of the 6th inning here on SFCN Channel 17. McCord Larson steps up to the plate for the Wasps. New pitcher now for the Dons is Remo Rivera, 6'1", 200-pound senior, coming in to finish the job that Nielsen started and was pretty successful at so far on the day. Gave up 5 runs, but hey, we can let that slide when you have a 9-5 lead.
Definitely changed your pitching mentality. Did throw quite a few pitches in that time. I think you always want to look at other arms and make sure you don't make him pitch a complete game just to do it, especially after 5 runs.
McCord Larson swings and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. And Larson somehow puts the bat on the ball. I don't know how he did, but he fouled it away to stay alive.
He knows that there's strikes on him and 2 outs. He's got a man at third. I think really want to see if he can bring his team to within 3 when they get one more chance to bat.
Here's Remo's delivery. Swung on and tipped into the glove of McKinnon Jarvis.
Hard throwing right there. Hard throwing and tempting heat up top, and the Dons will go in feeling good and come back out and look to maybe get some insurance and put this one away. Wasatch will look to see if they can shut him down and make a late game, big time comeback. We'll have it all for you right here on Channel 17 SFCN.
Jason Money leads the bottom of the 6th inning off for the Dons of Spanish Fork. Brandon Crow alongside Mitchell Marshall. Thank you again to our sponsors, the Car Guys and MVP Sports. 9-4 is your score here in the ball game. The Dons over the Wasatch Wasps. Also want to thank Andy Gesselson, Pete Hansen, Michael Clark, Enoch Dugan, Josh, and Samantha. All of our hard-working backbone of production of our production crew making this possible for you to enjoy wherever you are. Thank you for taking the time to be with us and enjoy some Region 8 baseball here on SFCN Channel 17. Money comes out swinging, and he fouls that one back, and he goes down 0-1.
Jay Money looking to see if he can get something started once again.
You love calling him that, don't you?
I do. I wish he had a bigger hit today because there would have been some Jay Money all over the place.
And Money Has this ball sliced down the line. Out of play.
Nothing really working for anybody down the right field line today. Little bit of wind, and that's something you do traditionally see guys slice when they're late on the ball, but good work over there. A lot of running back forth for the right fielders.
Here's the 0-2. And this one should be playable. Pop straight up in the air. And Josh Darrow has it. So Money is retired. 1 up, 1 down. And Gurney looks to attack Harrison now.
Gurney with a couple of quick outs last inning, and then he let things get away from him a little bit. See if maybe he had a minute to sit down and know what went right and come down and stop the Dons, limit the damage that his team's going to try and recover.
Wow, that was a pretty bold move by Harrison. Squaring to bunt, up by 4.
If he can maybe test his speed, get on a little early, maybe it's something that they weren't expecting. Corners were and still are playing at a fairly average depth.
Here's the 0-1 delivery from Gurney. And that one misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Harrison.
No bunt look there, and see first baseman Cole Kelly for Wasatch back up to about even with the bag, and he might creep forward a little bit on this pitch, but
that was a very slow changeup. Harrison trying to sit back as long as he could and was able to just get a piece of it. Foul it back, 1-2.
He'll tell you that wasn't his greatest swing. He kind of hesitated, but he was able to come down and see the curveball and get a foul out of it.
And this one is fouled, is playable, but no play is made. Again, that is just a long way to run. That is a lot of distance to cover, a lot of ground to make up to try and catch that ball in foul territory on either side.
Absolutely expansive. Beautiful fields out here.
Here's the 1-2 pitch from Gurney. Swung on and missed, and Gurney gets Harrison down swinging.
It's a good feeling, bases clear, and 2 outs for Gurney, and he gets the swing from Harrison after a little bit of a battle, some foul balls. Able to throw something that Harrison couldn't track.
Tanner Argyle now steps up to the plate for the Dons. And a routine ground ball over to Kelly, and Kelly does it himself. So 3 up, 3 down. Gurney gets in and out of the inning quickly, and this is their last chance that the Wasps have to tack on some runs. But if you're Spanish Fork, this is the chance to come in and shut the door and get a victory here in region play. We'll see what happens as the drama unfolds here on SFCN Channel 17. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Nelson Field, home of the Spanish Fork Dons. It's a beautiful day out here, and Wasatch is looking to make a comeback, and they'll watch the first pitch from Rivera go into the dirt. Up to bat right now is number 23, the cleanup man, Chase Adams, designated hitter.
Fouled and out of play. Almost needed my binoculars for that one.
He hit that one hot down the line, but looked like he knew it was foul pretty quick as well. Looked like it might be able to catch and get this inning off right. Of course, you get good wood on the ball one time, come back to it, and good idea there from Rivera, putting that one outside. 1-2 pitch coming right here to Chase Adams.
Here's the delivery from Remo. And this one is in right field.
Nice work.
Taylor Harrison makes the easy catch. And Chase Adams is retired.
Saw that one off the bat, moved to his left, had a lot of time. It was in the air for a while. Never know what the sun's going to do. It's right behind him, but tricky shadows. He read it right, and Rivera's off to a good start. And Wasp running out of outs
Colton Wynn looks at that first pitch from Rivera on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Down to 2 outs now to try and get some runs and tie this game back up. And another foul ball out of play. And just like that, Colton Wynn is in the hole, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Rivera almost hits Wynn. Wynn didn't even bother to move. I guess he would have taken the free base either way. Here's the 1-2 from Rivera. Low and in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, a quick reminder, at the end of the game, we will have our MVP Sports MVP of the game. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and down goes Wynn. Or as they say down here for Spanish Fork, the Dons, ole. Colton Wynn goes down swinging, and that brings up Cade Cloward, the catcher for the Wasps. Down to their last out, trying to get a rally started. And Rivera, again, working that outside part of the plate. Strike 1. Cloward calls time. Cloward gathers himself, taps the dish, settles. Rivera misses outside. 1-1 is the count. 9-5. Dons over the Wasps. And this could be the final out of the ball game. And there it is. Matt Creer does it himself. Give the save to Rivera and the W to Nielsen. And the Dons defeat the Wasps by a final score of 9-5 here at Nelson Field at Russell Swenson Park.
Welcome back to SFCN. You've just seen the Spanish Fork Dons take down the Wasatch Wasps in a nice game where we saw some good pitching. Game go back and forth, tied for a little while before the Dons pulled away, but the Wasps, they didn't let it go too far. They got themselves back within a couple runs on a nice piece of inning hitting of their own. Nielsen able to get out of some jams. He cruised through part of the game. Rivera came in and shut the door. So some quality pitching by the Dons. Did give up a handful of runs, and the Wasps kept it close, but the bleeding happened just a couple times back to back. It was a great game to see, though. Got to see a lot of offense and got to see some of the pitching from Spanish Fork, including their ace and an excellent close. I remind you that we are brought to you here on SFCN Channel 17 by the Car Guys, 872 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, the go-to place where you can find the vehicle that fits your needs and your individual budget. Our other sponsor, MVP Sports, fantastic place to get all of your needs taken care of for equipment, customized uniforms, shoes, sporting goods, and they, of course, sponsor our MVP of the game. And when you have a baseball game like this, a lot of players played well, a lot of offense went into it. Sometimes someone doesn't stick out enough. But, Brandon, what did you think was the key? Who takes home the MVP Sports Most Valuable Player of the game today?
Well, like you said, Mitch, it's kind of hard to really put your finger on one person, really. It was a team effort for the Dons of Spanish Fork to come away with the victory today. But I want to give it to a pair of brothers, you could say. I'm going to give the MVP shout-out MVP of the game. It goes to Devin and Tanner Argyle. Between the two of them, the brothers got on base almost, it seemed like, every time they were up at bat, whether it was just by putting the ball in play and forcing Wasatch defense to make a throw, which they either didn't or they either got on base by hits or walks. And when they did get on base, they were able to steal some bases and cause some havoc for the base pass and score some runs. So I'm going to give the MVP Sports MVPs of the game to the Argyle brothers, Devin and Tanner. Congratulations, Argyle brothers, with that nod today.
Remind you guys, this game has been brought to you by MVP Sports and the Car Guys. And if you want to catch replays of this game, you can go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/SpanishFork17. Thank you so much for watching the SFCN Channel 17 coverage of a game where we saw the Spanish Fork Dons, the SF throws me off every time. We saw them take down the Wasps of Wasatch. These teams will bout again tomorrow. And so from the beautiful city of Spanish Fork, we wish you to have a fantastic day.